Okay, I'm gonna do my Cipher video now. It's a lot, and I got to try to remember it all. But let's start with the clock times. So episode 1 in Golden Greed, he gets up. Actually, so it introduces him. It does a little animation where it shows like the dog, I think Tucker, and then the hearse, and then I think it shows Cynthia, and then the Boyers. Like it shows them like with the little digital like movement sign, and so it goes to Texas and it introduces Justin, and then he talks for a little bit, and then it cuts again, and then it goes to like a cut scene where it shows like a farm with some bulls in it, and then it shows like a windmill looking thing that has like a broken X on it, which then right after that, so right after there's an X literally on the video screen, it goes to the one time when he changes the clock time. So if we're focused on the clock times and what is the lowest possible number, like for me, that would be, when did he actually touch it? When did he actually intervene with the clock? Like any other time, there is no way, unless you're using all the times, there is no way logically to rule in or rule out any clock times unless you either use all of them or you do what I'm about to do, which is you only use the ones where he directly intervenes. And the initial feedback's probably like, well, he only does that once. And that's what I thought for a really, really, really long time, until like I started like obsessing over like the little details of this. And here's my theory. He gets up, he goes to the left side of his desk, he goes to the clock. He changes the clock from 6:06 to 4:02. He then starts walking back to his desk, coming back along the right side. It cuts. Real quick cut. I don't even know where it goes to, but it cuts away and then it cuts right back. And when it cuts right back, he is still walking back from changing the clock time. However, the clock time is no longer 4:02. It's 12:02. We can argue about the clock times. I probably would have posted this yesterday if there wasn't so much debate about the clock times and like I had to like second guess myself because I don't want to get publicly ridiculed. But I took as many pictures as possible of Golden Greed, of the episode, and I tried to center the picture. I then took measures to ensure that I had the most centered picture possible. I then cut it at essentially a 0 degree and a 90 degree angle. And at that point, if you line up a clock with those 2 degrees, like if you line it up on a 90 degree angle, the minutes, like if you that will ensure that you scale it properly. So the minutes hand should be impossible to be wrong at that point. And so I did that, and both times it ends up on the 2. Like one time it's very, very close to the 3, but it's not to the 3, and I can never get it to the 3. So for me, 4:02, 12:02. What does this mean? So we're going to 4:02, 12:02. 12:02 could be noon 02. Could also be midnight 02. If it's midnight, what does that make us think of? Midnight Menace would be what I think about. And that is the only time that a 12 o'clock time is mentioned in any way in the book, is in the title, The Midnight Menace. So I'm going to that chapter. Also, 4 to 12 is 8 hours. In the Midnight Menace, like he kind of ends it saying that like after a 9-hour break, or after an 8-hour break, his mom's back at it and back on the road, and yeah, just doing her job. Yeah, so 8 hours. That's one connection, is the shift time. When a Z train is in highball, 70 in highball, they're going to be in, they're going to shift to their 8th like clutch in the throttle, and like that's as high as it goes, and it's how the engine's built. I read all about it. I can't articulate it back, but like that's how it works. Don't ask me to explain it because I can't. But like that is, yeah. So we got the 8 hours. We got the 8-hour shift. We got the trains in general. Like if you look at like model trains, like most model trains that you look up are going to be in like a figure 8, kind of like circling around like in a figure 8 design. So like there's a connection with like figure 8 things with like model trains as well. But then, so Midnight Menace at 2 a.m. is when stuff goes down, which is in between 12 and 4. So directly in between the two times is when the incident on the train track occurs. I think it's important, and you'll see why in a minute. But so 402, let's take a step back. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 is the atomic number for carbon. 1202, 12 plus 2 is 14, which is the atomic number for silicon. Silicon and carbon is used in making hardened steel. The one thing you're missing is iron. A Z train, a Z is number 26 in the alphabet. The atomic number for iron is number 26. You combine these three things together and you're going to get a stainless steel, essentially shell, that is used usually to protect something on the outside that is important on the inside. Take a step further. So iron is given to us in the book Golden Greed, or in the book Beyond the Map's Edge by Justice Posey, and he says Forrest Fenn gives us this cipher himself. And that doesn't make any sense. Like I've never heard that. What he then says about the trousers and I've never heard that before. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but he didn't give it to me himself, and I'm not supposed to be worried about the Forrest Fenn hunt. So I feel like Forrest gave us a portion of Justin's cipher, which is iron. And so you take the two elements together, and carbon and silicon. Carbon is C, element C. Silicon is element Si. What's that spell? CSI. Crime Scene Investigation. But he also, in the Bronze Beast, when he's talking about Tucker's amazing smelling ability, that is also CSI, like K9's special I don't know, something like that. But he makes a play off the word CSI, and then I'm running out of time, so I'm going to skip to like the punchline, which is trains. We're talking a shift. We're talking a shooting. We're talking about stopping. We're talking about we're getting out, maintenance, doing all the things that would have been uploaded into a black box. And that black box is orange, not black. So very instantly recognizable. It's about the right weight. It has a hollow inside if you take all the stuff out, and it looks like it would be just a great treasure-looking chest. It's also something that you retrieve. So if you had solved his poem to completion, including the cipher, you would be looking for a locomotive, event recorder, or black box. And yeah, there are more reasons. Another thing, so safe codes. If you take the safe codes and you take the ones, read these words just right, and you start on the right, then all the safe codes are hidden. So you have all the 5 safe codes, but there's actually a second number that's 8 digits less. And if you total up all of the numbers that are 8 digits less, one of them resets like from 1 to 93, so it's actually a bigger number, and you get 193. If you take the original safe numbers, you get 133. If you subtract 193 from 133, you'll get 60, which is the weight of the treasure and the container that we seek. And then also, the difference in the safe codes is 8. So connects the safe to the clock to trains. And then also, all of those safe codes correlate to rules within the Union Pacific, like the rule book that they use. And all of those things apply to rules that affect events that would be recorded in a black box. So I think that's it. Black box.